I just realized I put the wrong thumbnail on the video, or I didn't select one, so it uses the old one. I need to make like a standard operating procedures for going live. It's weird if I have the music too loud on, it's hard for me to talk because it's like I don't hear myself think or something. I don't know. It's not like I think before I talk anyway. No, you don't need rare earth for making stuff glow with power. It's just for like long-term stability. I'm experiencing some weird flickers on my system. I disabled my window manager just to be sure that wasn't the cause. Not the window manager. I mean, of course, the compositor, which is a component of. I guess what it does is that it makes sure that all the graphics gets rendered at once and that it's v-synced and everything, so you don't get page tearing. But it can also be problematic when you capture windows with the streaming software. So I turned it off for now. But then there are different methods of capturing windows. You can use like X composite, or you can use screen, and they have different like pros and cons. But when I started my visualizer, I do get some weird graphical glitching. I guess I'm using GPU quite a lot, but I'm not sure how much I was using before I started streaming, so some of this is probably streaming. I guess we can have a look at NVIDIA SMI. I guess I don't see which one uses the most. But it's this one, build, test shader terrain, that's my visualizer. I guess I can stop computing on it. I guess I didn't notice a difference there. Okay, so now GPU is like 34%, then we start computing. Now it's like 47, so it's a little bit. It's looking kinda nice even frozen. But yeah, let's have it. Let's boil some oceans. Let's boil a bathtub of ocean water. That's like half horsepower Fortnite. Yeah, half a horsepower Fortnite. I think it's fairly easy to remember that 1 horsepower week is one bathtub. And this is like if you want to take one bathtub of 175 liters and you want to boil off all the water. And you start at like 10 degrees. Dear ChatGPT, I aim to have a blog at some point. Although that's probably not spelled like that. Although I am no fan of Markdown, it seems to get the job done in many cases. if I want to share discussions from ChatGPT or documentation from GTA or GitHub, it would be neat to use Markdown. I am thinking perhaps I could use the GTA API to render Markdown into static HTML. Could you show me an example of how to accomplish this using either Python or Node? Preferably, I don't know which one I prefer. Let's make ChatGPT decide. It's using Python. Okay, so this looks like it might be doable only using curl. If I want D to include a file, do I do D dev std in and pipe it? But if D supports at for referring to a file, why would we pipe it? Why not just use at syntax? I kind of feel that good point, and you're right to question that is a standard response for ChatGPT. Oh wait, what? Uh, well then, please create a make file that will use JQ and curl JQ and curl. Rules .md %.md to %.json file rules, and then we have phony rules, JSON publish. I wonder if it will figure this out. Is it wise to insert the markdown content as an argument? Isn't that severely limited in size? Interesting. I had no idea this would work. I guess we'll try it out, see what happens. I already have, oops, I have several blogging things, yet I have no blog. I'm going to put it in blogging. 2025 attempt. Then we'll make a sub-project, which is just curl JQ experiment. Pat subst. Then we need to replace that line with the other one. Then we'll create test.md. Need to put an access token there. Could you change to read a file? Maybe using cat. What is cat vs shell cat? Ah, okay. Did I copy the thing? It's not like I need to care about the token anyway, because it's only accessible on my local network, but I like to try to keep things somewhat safe anyway. This one will be the parent directory. Then we have to check out the Getea thing, and there it is. Am I not signed in? Okay. And then I need a token, which I should do over here. That's generate new token. Ah, nice. Curl test, or like blog test, I guess. Oh, there is a lot of different permissions. What Getea API token permissions do I need for this? User read. I kinda want to read repositories and packages and organizations. Let's put read on everything. Maybe not admin. Okay. We have a token. Now this token is to be written to a file. I'm also going to do that over here. Yeah, maybe that will work. So we need a test markdown file. Please present both the code you wrote and the output as a markdown document. Of course, you will have to invent a name for the picture, and I'll link it in later. Why doesn't it open up this one in Canvas? You can select whatever file name. Please continue. Why is that a terribly red thing? What did it call it? It called it that. Make JSON. Did it make JSON? Oh, I guess I didn't save that thing. Okay, so there we have the JSON with the thing. So let's try publish. Oh, we didn't actually specify the endpoint, so yeah, we just sent things off to the interwebs. Why didn't it produce the error output? Is that because of the at in the for? The at, no, that's wrong. The at in the for loop, is that why I get no error feedback at all? Why would you opt for hiding important information like that by default? So our endpoint Can I use it like that? Does that work? I get an empty response. I get a completely empty response. I am starting to suspect you also silenced curl. No quotes are needed. But I like quotes. If I have double quotes, there is a magic makefile thing for removing it, right? I meant a different magic thing. Maybe that was for bash shell files. Some $sign feature. What? Cleaned? There is a different one that doesn't use. There's a different one that just adds one character, I think. None of these are the one I am thinking of, which is silly because you were the one showing it in the first place. I used it in a shell file. It was something like, what could it have been? Like, I think just what, I think it was very similar to referring to a variable, but one more character made it remove quotation. I wasn't any of these. Bash shall remove quotes. So many different ones. There was a lot of different answers, none of which the one I've seen before. Bash remove quotes from argument. Argument. Ah, come on, can I type? Was that not the same I was looking at? Where do we start? Which one? This one. Nope, none of that. That's so weird. Like I saw this one project that, or like that one solution that worked, and now I can't find anything like it. If the first character of parameter is an exclamation point, it introduces a level of indirection which uses the value formed by expanding the rest. Expands to names of expands to names of begin with prefix, okay. If name is an array. So many things. Maybe it was at E? I don't know. Could it have been var at E? You suggested Q, but that would add even more quotes. This one is sneaky and you write it based differently. But I want to remove the quotes. But I want to remove the quotes. And I am pretty sure it didn't involve 1 minus 1. Consider this command. Cat var some, or like path to var, where var is file name, okay. Okay, it is at Eden. What was I even doing? No host part in the URL. What? What happens if we just do it like that then? That's weird. I do. Oh yeah, maybe it's different in make. But if this is makefile, how do I? Yeah, I guess we'll just not care about that, but I would like to escape those things. Okay, it created HTML here. Of course, there is no style sheet associated with this, but we'll have to try this out anyway. What did we do? Test thing. And then in the body we'll insert this thing. And then we'll open this document. Looks kinda nice. That file is missing. So let's, yeah, we can symlink images in here. That doesn't work. Oh, that one has a weird path. So let's see, images. One problem now is that turns into images instead of a relative path. Prepend dot. Okay, I suspected that might help. Git. I'm silly. Make publish. Then we copy the HTML. It still did that thing. Now I have, but still I get I want git flavor so that I may include mermaid diagrams and such, and use admotions. Admotions? I don't know what you call that. Admonitions? Uh, what? What is the word I am looking for? Meaning, notice, warning, etc. Could I supply a base URL, or can it only create it from a repo? If only from repo, does that repo have to exist? Or could I spoof the URL? Admonitions, alright. Wait, context a relative path? Let's try with context. Test. Let's just put test in there. We don't get anything. Context. Path to test. Mode GFM context. Context only doesn't seem to do anything at all. I would probably want to check the documentation. Please link me the docs for the API. I have a marzipan bar, which is pretty nice. This link isn't working. What? How did it create a link that I can't click? What's the point of that? I can't click your link. Yeah, this is not correct. I think there is an API thing somewhere here. Site administration? No. API? I've seen it somewhere. Where did I see it? Do I need to go to its home? Maybe if I go to the API link. API V1. Page not found. Help! Gitea API documentation. What's going on? Oh wow, weird. Would this be Miss Glengles? Render markdown document. Context to render. Mode. Text. Wiki. What happens if we say it's a wiki just for fun? Wiki true. That didn't make a diff. But it's weird because here when it has render markdown as document, it doesn't mention the context, the repo context thing. Oh, here's a different one. File path. See that context. Where is mode? Oh, that's markup, markdown. What's the actual endpoint here? This is the schema. Oh, here it is. But why isn't that? That's so weird. They only show it. Oh, there it is. Post markdown. And we're using markdown. So that's correct. This is 1.2. We're using v1. I guess that's probably the same. Get template information. That's the wrong one. The documentation does not mention the repo context thing. It does mention context and mode, but it does not go into detail of how those work. Oh, it's an undocumented parameter. Magic beans. It still didn't make a difference. Oh, it doesn't recreate the JSON file because I'm stupid. And I forgot that I need to touch the markdown file in order for it to create a JSON file. So now it thinks it's a wiki. But the source is still the same. So let's turn off wiki again and try the context repo thing. Magic beans. And then we need to touch that document. Now it doesn't have a source at all. So width. I tried. But then I get I think I should probably just go through URLs and fix them. But I told you I want the GitHub flavored stuff, and it is also useful be able to. Yeah, I guess not, but I want to get to save stuff. I'll just post-process the HTML then. Thank you for all the non-working suggestions. In the future, just let me know that I can't do something. It says it appreciates the honesty, but it's an LLM. So we'll remove the magic beans and context. And we'll do this again. Oh yeah, I forgot to... No, wait, save that one, do it again. And then we'll simply search for things that start with that. And I just manually changed it now, because this is just a test. Why is the picture not there? Can I search here? Could not load the image. So we are in testing. ls images. What is eye spectral? That's weird. Eye spectral. Did I add something there by mistake? Oh yeah, I got an eye in there. But I updated it, didn't I? Oh yeah, it's in two places, I think. Halion black body. No such path. Images is empty. I'm pretty sure I saved something there. That's so weird. failed. Completed. Why did it fail? It seems a bit small. Error. Authentication failed. Silly ChatGPT. Oh, it's in this here. Here it is. Okay, let's see if it works now then. Nice, alright. Oh, it's so big. The image is huge, but maybe some CSS could fix this. Do I want it to be a block? Yeah, let's make a separate style sheet. Link rel style sheet href test.css. Perhaps that will work. Or perhaps not. What am I doing wrong? So that should work. Yeah, it fetched CSS there. Just didn't apply it to the image. Max width 100%. Oh, I guess it did fit here, but it's still huge. It did work, but your sizing strategy is not good. The image fills the width, which is normally fine, but in this case you need to scroll to see it. I think a quarter viewport max. Should I use max? Should I use max? Max size 50 V8 VW with VW. 50 VH or 60 VH depending on your preferences. Okay, so I guess we could set different ones here. But we could also have like 80% max width, I think is better. Oops. Now it's tiny instead. Okay, so you click on it, it gets... Oh, the entire block becomes a link? I don't think it should be a block. Yeah, it's just ChatGPT being silly. So if I make the viewport bigger, then the image grows. I guess I could live with that. I think I want my code block to be indented a little bit. Now it's time where we'll be real lazy. This is where hopefully ChatGPT is real handy. Please create a suitable style sheet. For a nice, dark, fruity kind of theme. For you have to include syntax highlighting. Also use this for IMG. Create the CSS as a document in Canvas, please. Oh, sorry, I didn't catch your questions there. Yeah, it's marzipan, and there are some different ones like whiskey, cognac. This one is the basic one, I think, because the local store doesn't have that much selection. It's an Anton Berg, Anton Berg, so it's you know, kind of nice chocolate. I do like it. Should have bought more. Huh, it added box shadows and stuff. Yeah, that's kind of nice. I think I want a bit of a different background. Also, it's unfortunate that it doesn't generate links or like anchors for the titles. Like if you clicked on plot, you'd expect to have a little link thing there. I mean, it puts a user ID thing there. So if I go to that link, I get there. So that's probably something I could post-process as well. Let's see what ChatGPT thinks. What do you think about post-processing so that I can click it to get a link and also put, could you create a small CSS snippet for showing a link symbol to the left of the header when hovering? Okay, so it requires an ID to exist. That's pretty neat. But it's not only H2. I think there are 6 levels. I keep clicking on the image by mistake. What? It added a bunch of padding? We don't need no padding. Yeah, that's pretty nice. Oh, I guess that's not very nice. That's why they added a padding. I think we can get away with half on EM. So much dead space up there. One EM 0. I forget if it's width height or height width. I should probably be 0, 1 EM. Why is this so big? We got margin left and right for the two. Then we also have padding left. But there is no padding up there. What's all this dead space? It's not padding, it's not border, it's not margin, it's not position. Like, what? What's going on? Oh, it has padding 2 REM on the body? That's crazy. Maybe we should have that this link is always visible, but it's more visible. Okay, now it's never visible. Oh yeah, because we need to make it because it's hover before. We need to have just before first. And then here we could make it different. We can always have pointer as cursor, I think. Oh, we only get pointer on the before thing. We want the pointer on the header, of course. Like that. And then we use padding left in order to move it to left? No? I've broken it. Was it margin left? So now I just want this thing to be opacity. Is this in percent? 10%? Guess we should have it there. Then we can have opacity 100% there. That's nice. But I think we can animate that property. How do I animate this? The opacity property. Thank you, have a good sleep. Transition? Is decimal better? Yeah, that's kinda nice. Do I think I want a bit quicker transition? Maybe 15? Maybe 0.1? Yeah, that's better. A bit more responsive. I think the code has a bit big text. That's a class code block. Code. Fira code. Why didn't it make a code block class? It should be pre.codeblock, I guess. Font size. Smaller. Oops. Small? I feel there's a lot of line weight here, I don't know. It's too bad it doesn't produce line numbers and stuff. Also, I want it to indent this whole thing. Margin left 1em, 2em, and same with image. Why doesn't that work? Oh, because the image is in a container? No? Oh, it has a margin there. That's better. I kinda want these to be pulled in a little bit too. But those are just generic P ones. We just do that. I guess that causes the image to be double indented. Yeah, that's better. I really need to automate my OBS stuff. That's also a project I should work at some time. And I should work on my MacroPad, because I have some great ideas there. Well, at least I think they would be great for me. But I do feel that this blogging stuff, it's going in the right direction. I guess I want the background to be a bit more dark gray. That's nicer, I think. Or maybe... Or should we have it red tinted? I can like that. I think I'd like my headers to have some glow to them. Let's do 0.05 EM and then 0.5 EM and a sort of a yellow color. Let's try that. Oh wow, that's way too much. But yeah, it glows. I guess we can take the opportunity to adjust the EMs there, like that. Maybe it should just glow straight, because it's a dark background, so maybe it should just be 0, 0 here. Yeah, that's pretty nice. But it's still too glowy, but we can fix that. 255, 255. Actually, I want a bit more reddish tinted, so let's do 200. And no blue component, and then 0.5. Yeah, that's nicer. And then we can have that when you hover it, so that would be... I wonder if we can do this. We have the texture there, opacity, but I don't know if we can actually animate the text shadow. And then we of course need a hover thing on this. Where are we? There we are. I really need to have tabs in this, because it's driving me insane. Tab size. Okay, it's indentation. Tab with... You can have more than one? That's crazy. Then we convert this to tabs. Okay then, convert all those to tabs. Why are the tabs so big? I'm pretty sure I set it to 2. Oh, is that a bug? Oh, that's weird. So when I select 2, it didn't unselect that thing until I go in there again, and because I did correct the thing I saw, I set it back, so that's wrong. So we had these hovers, but it's not before. And then here we'll just have it brighter. I think it's actually doing the transition. We can test that by removing it. I don't know, I can't tell. Let's do 1 second. That should be fairly obvious then. Oh, that works. That's almost kind of nice. Like slowly lights up like that. Let's see. Let's do 0.4 when it's not selected, and then something like that. I guess we could also change the color. So this color is like F8C-ish. We could make it completely white. Oops, that was the wrong body. Wrong color. Can I have multiple ones? Ooh, that's a very nice Half-Life kind of an orange. Oh yeah, that's kind of nice. Uh, I think I am in a good position to work on a different project, but for future reference, could you create a markdown document that contains the future plans, which involves using a post processor for adjusting headers and URLs. Base href. Plans.md. Boom. Make plans.html. Oh, I need to go out here. Make plans.html. I think you botched the make file. I don't see why you put a for loop in there anyway. That's not how make works. You're absolutely right again. That error and your instinct are spot on. Yeah, I guess that other one is correct. And publish is... No wait, HTML? Oh yeah. Will it understand the whole chain from MD to HTML then? I'm not sure publish should be the one it is. That did seem to work. Because first it ran jQuery for plans.md to plans.json, then it ran plans.json to plans.html, so that's kind of cool. I didn't know it would actually set up the entire chain automatically. So let's make a future plan thing. I guess we'll copy this one into here, replace the body with the plans. Now save it to in testing plans.html. I keep clicking that thing by mistake. That's so annoying. Wait, is this entire thing? What? Why is it a block? Display block. Ah, it must have added that one. Do we have more than one IMG? No? Border radius? We're not going to have any border radius on our images. We want them nice and square. That's a weird drop shadow or box shadow. Let's do 0.5 EM, 0.5 EM, 1 EM. And because we are already in a dark background, let's just make it very dark like that. Can still barely see it. Let's do this on code blocks as well. And remove the border radius. I'm not sure we should have it on code, because that could be something just straight inside of things. That's kind of nice. So we have plans.html. Yes, I guess these code things here would be nice to improve them a little bit. So now I think it's time to switch project. We'll never find this project again. I guess we're here. So we want to be able to get... Oh yeah, I'm kinda don't liking how complicated it is to set this stuff up. But the alternative, I guess, would be to use some YAML or something. But and we could also nest these things. Like if we're only using rules in one place, we could put them as a literal in there, but that might be way more complicated. But we should put it in its own module to keep things cleaner. But let's just tack on some random crap before we do that. So currently we have common rule that we are printing out, I guess. Okay, so here we have rules, which just dump it. So here we need to do the common rule stuff, or the rule stuff. Rules. Uh-oh. I was recording from from OBS and forgot about it. 16 gigs, but then it didn't end up on the correct disk. Yeah, that one should not live there. It should live in SRV data core 2. Oh, we have more MKV. Let's rsync all the MKV files here to SRV data core 2. That's probably fine. Only 588 megabyte per second. Okay, it dropped down to like 100. Yeah, my file system is in a bit of a disarray. I have symlinked a bunch of stuff into my home directory, but the home is actually on the SSD, a small SSD, or it's two SSDs that are striped. Where the thinking is that cache files and stuff should be fast, but then I don't. When I just specify my home directory, things end up there, which is not good because most stuff, especially if it's big stuff, I want to have it on the bigger disks, the bigger, slower disks. But yeah, I think I've used a lot of disk space lately because I've installed a few Steam games. We can have a look at that. Is it .steam? No? Where are the Steam files? I thought it was in Steam. Here we have stuff. Oh, it's in Steam. No, this is a symlink. Where does it go? It goes to .local share Steam. And here we have things. Okay, 491 gigabytes, so I think I know where my disk space went. I guess we can always sort this. Red Dead Redemption 2 is 120. Grand Theft Auto 114. BeamNG 50. How is that so big? Serious Sam 44. 20 gigs of like protons and stuff. Going to get something to drink. There is daylight outside. That's always nice. I guess this thing is finished. Then we can RM all the MKVs. And now I have 26 gigs free. That's not a lot, but it's not zero. So we were creating... I guess I can start recording again now. Let's waste some space. I should set the file path though, but OBS will tell me when I run out of space. So, okay, so we have project rules. Rule collection handler. And in rules we have rule. And we'll just dump it. What am I doing wrong? Okay, and the rule handler in turn should have formulae. So let's do rule handler. And then we may have formula, which we'll dump. And then we'll just subprocess. I guess for simple things like that, we can just... Actually, we don't even need that when we're doing a subprocess. But okay, so now rule handler. Formula. Running handler for formula. It dumps it. But then we have a problem. Oh, it's project comment. And it's in... Is it in rule? Oh yeah, it's in rule. Why is it still printing common rule? Where is common rule? There common rule is. But it's just dumping common rule. But I guess a comment may show up in different places. So we'll dump comments as well. Comment. Now we could handle all of the things. But common rule, I think I want to handle that with rule handler as well, but then later we'll just wrap it in something. Because we want to put this in an AST. That's like the next step, I guess. So I have running handler, project rule. So we have a bunch of formula. And comment, I guess. But the formula are the important aspects. What? What? Adding embedded Git repos. Okay, now it's doing things. Oh. Why is node modus owned by root? Yeah, I want to redo. Then we add only that one file. Then we have node modules, but why we don't have a package.js instead? I guess we're not making a package. Those link to like my system files in a weird way. Do I use all those? CLI highlight. Yes. So I need a packages.json. Please create a package.json based on this information. No, shell. No, console. Yeah, console. Doesn't matter anyway. It's an AI that's going to read it. More than you probably want to know about npm configuration. I think they're correct. I guess the dependencies is already important. Can I view dependencies? npm view dependencies. npm view. Seems it thinks I am published. npm pkg get. npm pkg get. But that just shows the file. npm install. Okay, so let's try this. Oops. So let's remove node modules. And then we do npm install. Oh wow, it put a whole bunch of stuff in there now. But I guess that means it works. So we'll put node modules in git ignore and dot git no, you shouldn't put that one in there. Is there anything more? I think that'll be fine for now. Oh yeah, package lock.json. Package lock.json. Alright, I'm file watching dot. That's why it does the thing whenever I save anything. Git status dot git ignore package.json initial commit. Alright. I wanted to make a commit before I start changing things too much here. Wonder what that is. Let's throw it away. So what was the next step in here? Oh yeah, putting things in AST nodes and then return things, because now we're dumping things. And also remove some of the verbosity where it prints like running the handler. And we should also move all the handlers into handlers.js. And we'll export main rules. Import main rules from .handlers.js. Oh yeah, process tree is not defined there. So let's make that into a module as well. Processing.js. Process tree and process node. We'll export those. And we'll import process tree and process node from processing, and we need to do that here as well. Iter node. Let's put that in processing as well. Export it for convenience. Get tag ID. Let's put that into utils. Get tag ID from utils. Dump node. That's also a utility, I would say. Dump node from utils. XML format. Where do we use that? In dump node? Yes. Do we use more? We use the theme there. Themes. We'll take ChatGPT's themes here. These themes were generated using ChatGPT from OpenAI. Import neon theme from ./themes.js. Need to export them. Default. XML serializer. I don't think we need a DOM parser there, right? Highlight not defined. Alright, and there's probably a lot of stuff we don't need in here anymore. Okay, I think dir node is a utility. Load data table. I don't think we're using that one. XML format. Do we use that? Nope. Is that used anywhere? Oh, it's used in utils. XML doc. That's used for processing the tree. Yeah, let's make a process XML function. Function process XML file. File name. File name. Okay, so processing has rules and then it has recursive and strict and stuff. I guess we should pass those along to make it consistent. We want recursive true initially and strict false. So we'll return process tree. We'll export this one. Put it down here. Document element. So we have XML doc, parser. And now we need a DOM parser. Okay, so we create the parser. We use the parser. We have the XML string, which we get from reading the file. I guess we should have string there. And then we make another one. Export function process XML string. Oh, this one should be file. That one should be string. File. File name. Rules. Recursive equals true. Strict equals false. I don't know if those are good defaults. I think strict should probably be true by default. And recursive should probably be false by default. And we should use these here. Recursive, strict, and rules, of course, not main rules. And then here we read a file, file name. We'll just assume encoding UTF-8. We need fs. Then we return process XML string. The string rules recursive strict. Process XML file main rules. We want it recursive, we don't want it strict. This is just stuff, object from attributes. I guess that, do we use that anywhere? Process XML file not. Okay, so process XML file. And main rules, we don't need any of that. So that's boiled down pretty well. Let's see if we use this object from attributes anywhere. Nope, but we can put it in utils and just export it from there in case we want it later. So that's pretty good. Okay, processing has a bunch of outputs that we don't need. If application.settings dot, or if app settings dot verbose, we'll just uncomment it for now. It should return the result for that handler, I think. So if we call process node, we could get information. If we call process tree though, then we should probably do result.push whatever that is, and then create a result as a new thing and return the new thing. Wait, process node. Oh yeah, so if it's not strict and it will recurse and process more nodes, then we should just put it in an array. Okay, now we're const result equals blank array, return result. Ah, nice. Now we get to the fun part, to parse this freaking proprietary terrible language. And we want the text content of these formula. Now we dump them. So let's do console.log. And we'll call them yeah, it's now .text content, isn't it? Yes, alright. Dryworks.js. function parse formula. We'll export that. Parse formula from DriveWorks. Now we see the comments there. Let's be silent about comments. So this thing returns process tree, which, yeah, we should be able to get the result from this. So let's just do return hello here. And then we'll print const result equals that console.log result. It's arrays inside of other arrays. So we should do the inspect thing that I keep forgetting. Then we need to import inspect. Ah, here we have all the hellos. And lots of empty things. Structure without data. Why are so many of these empty? What's supposed to be in there? It's so many. I mean, they can't be all be comments, can they? So that one is an empty thing. So what if we just return comment? Still pretty empty in there, so it's not comments. What other empty ones do we have? Process tree and process... Yeah, it's always process tree. So we should always get something. Oh, here we have stuff. No? Process tree, process tree. Yeah, it's always process tree. It should always be something. Either a comment or a formula. Did we forget to return something somewhere? Process XML file return. Process XML string return. Process tree return the result, and it pushes from process node. And it seems like it's process node things. Oh yeah, we have node types that are not handled here. So we could return text, for instance. Then we get a few. So some of these are text. Return other thing. We don't really have any of those. Oh, if we don't have a handler and it's not strict, but then we would do this thing, unless it's not recursive. So then it would be a non-strict match here. And that's probably what we're seeing then. No? What? So we have result, so it's not that thing. Return other node. Return text. Here it returns the handler. Oh yeah, and here it's non-strict match. Not recursive. Non-strict match. Okay, there we go. We still have an undefined. Oh, the undefined might be from the comment. Turn comment. Okay, now we've covered everything. But we're not going to actually use those. But it's good to have them here for later. When we could, for instance, return a symbol that means this. The drawback here is we get so much output that is not useful. Maybe we could do. Maybe it would make sense to only return a list if there is items in that list. Because then, if you really need a list, you could do question mark and then an empty list. So result dot length. Then we return result. Otherwise, we return undefined or null. I guess is a better return. And then we do. Now we do undefined because then we don't. It won't get pushed into other lists. Well, if we make that change as well. Const sub result equals that thing. If sub result is not undefined, then we'll push it. And we should do that also for here. Const sub result equals that thing. If sub result is not undefined, we'll push the sub result. That's nicer. Now we only get structure where we actually have data. And here if we just return the formula as is, we get all the formulas here. But here is where our parser has to be used. And we have parsers. Here we have parsers. That's its whole other experiment. I wonder if I should put that in a module. Let's just put it in a subdirector for now. So this is some other stuff. Let's put this away and move this closer. So here we have the parsing stuff. Alright. So here is some sort of a test where we're creating a parser that I call parsing context, which is kind of silly. So let's also clean this up a little bit, I guess. So let's create generic parser or generic parser. Parser.js. parser. It needs a switchable iterator. That will get from the previous level, I guess. No, let's put it here. Let's make it self-contained. Switchable iterator. Let's call it like that. From, okay, import parser from generic parser parser.js. Could we do index if we just do the generic parser and we call this one index? Does that work? I'm just curious. Unsupported dir import, okay. Export that thing. But it's not actually using it yet. Oops, const p equals, let's call parser equals new parser. Source tokenizes. Source is formula. Tokenizer is, we need to make tokenizer. And this is where it gets a bit complicated. Let's start with an expression tokenizer. Let's make a directory for dryworks and move dryworks, no, not in here. And we'll move dryworks.js into the dryworks directory, and we should call it parser. It's including directories I don't want included. Delete folder, does it actually remove the folder in, or does it just remove it from the thing? Test folder, touch, file. So if I delete this folder, nothing happened. I want to remove folders from the project. Okay, project, add folder to project, dryworks generic parser. Okay, that's better. Maybe we should save this project. Say workspace, say project, say project. Dryworks parser. Parse formula from Dryworks parser. And this is from dot dot generic parser. So now we need tokens. Actually, let's call it tokenizers. Expression. We don't need that one yet. Export const expression expression.rules. That is when it hits a regular expression, so it should be like regular expression. Though I kind of want all these in a particular namespace, so maybe we should do export const tokenizers, tokenizer, big. Yeah, let's use the tokenizer. That would be its own namespace there, so that's good. I guess we could make this as factory functions. That might actually be better because then it should work as long as we have defined these in the right order. Or that would be like a get function then. But we don't want the get function to get a new one each time. So we should need a cached thing. And now it sounds complicated, so I'll just leave it like this for now. And create them once and then refer to them. Import tokenizer from tokenizers.js. Just print it there like a mad person. Oh yeah, we can't have that. Oh yeah, advanced tokenizer is not, and also regex rule. We need those two. And we can steal these from another project I'm working on. Cannot find package preprocess. Oh right. So we need to do npm link preprocess. Nice. But now it should of course use tokenizer.expression. In its stack channel. And this is in generic parser. I want to call that stack channel. Stack channel.js. That seems to be working. And then we can call parse, which will probably cause some sort of problem. Parse. Return parse. Parsing failed. No match for all that stuff. That makes sense. So first we need to add identifiers, because we have regex rule there. Now that's a white space. White space. Regular expression. So we'll add identifier, which is .w plus. That should be context and context and identifier. We don't need to enter any sub tokens. AST identifier. AST is not defined. That's a problem. Did I create an AST? No. Key value pair. I'm not sure I want that one. Do I want that one? Maybe I want that one. So this should be an AST. And we should import star as AST from ast.js. Alright, now we get to the left parenthesis, which requires us to enter a sub-expression, parenthesis, or is it parenthesis? Parenthesis, I think it is. So if we hit a left parenthesis, sub-expression we'll call that. I'm not sure like how I've named these things, but we can always refactor. Sub-expression. Yeah, I'm actually going to add that thing there. So the AST, it already has sub-expression, nice. But we don't have it as a tokenizer, I believe. Oh yeah, and we also need to do tokenizer dot, because we're referring to those here. So here we need to have regular expression and sub-expression. For now, we're only going to deal with. We're not going to have regular expression. That's for JavaScript. That was for a different experiment, I guess. Yeah, I was like borrowing the syntax for regular expression from JavaScript in order to use that with my own system. Oh, it's not blog infrastructure anymore. Need to update my current task. It's proprietary file parsing. I'm getting a bit hungry too. Might need some sort of lunch break soon. That like 6 a.m. lunch or 7 a.m. lunch break. Okay, so that was left parenthesis. So we need to create the tokenizer for these. So that would be sub expression, and I guess that's the only one for now. But that one is empty, so it will fail. Yep, and it fails on, yeah, all that stuff. But the sub expression that contains the expressions tokenizer. So we don't need to actually push a new tokenizer here, because that's the same one. So now we end up on comma. And I guess comma should just be like its own thing, perhaps? Comma. It doesn't need any text. Actually, that should be a symbol. Export const comma equals symbol comma. So we should have some simple things here. Comma. A single comma. Push token AST dot comma. Maybe we should have capital letters for things that are just like that. Just a single token. Symbol, is it a capital S? Oops. AST is of course capital. Now we have the problem of exiting an expression, which we can also borrow from here, where we use leave subtokenizer. So if we have the right one, then we do leave subtokenizer. Now we have plus. The question is, should each of these tokens be just a symbol, or should we have like operator for all the math things? Yeah, let's use an operator for now. Operator. So instead of ast.comma, it'd be operator operator, context, comma, operator. And operator is one out of many possible things. Oh, plus is special, isn't it? Plus, minus, star, divided. But we also have ones that have 2 letters. Like, oops, plus plus, minus minus. Oh, and plus plus need to be escaped. Plus plus, wait, does it have plus plus and minus minus? I don't think it has those things. But it does have stuff like and, or, not, plus minus, asterisk, and that one. I'm sure we'll find more. Oh yeah. New operator. Done, false, true, false. What's done? Failed for string start. I don't know if they have string escape thing. We'll just start by assuming they don't, because it's a terrible language. So we'll have the double quote, which means we should enter the subtokenizer string, tokenizer.string. Then put it inside a string, which we may already have. No? Oh, it's a literal, I guess. A literal string though, so yeah, let's make a string. Maybe we should... no, I was thinking I could extend literal to string, but then I'm also thinking that maybe I should keep it simple. Let's do that actually. But literal here is something else. So let's do literal value and then string extends literal, like that. But then we need to create a string tokenizer. Oh yeah, I do remember they have escapement, which is they use double quotation to indicate a single double quotation. They're crazy. It's very Visual Basic inspired, I believe, but it was such a long time I did Visual Basic that I don't really remember the syntax. What am I looking for? What am I doing? So we have an example here of the inner tokenizer. I guess we can use that. So these are like the main one, I guess, expression. Then we have string. So this should be tokenizer dot string. But here the escapement is double thing, which turns into single thing. And then we have a single thing, which leaves the thing. That might just work. Who knows? Oh yeah, the string needs to take everything that is not... it needs to have a default rule. How did I apply the default rule? Oh yeah, I set default rule. Tokenizer.string. Should I call it literal? That's where I used literal before, I guess. But here it's just unescaped text. And then we put the entire thing in a string. So let's just push it as text like that and hope for the best. And oh yeah, the string concatenation thing. Oh yeah, brackets. So we have parentheses here. Then we have square brackets, which is used for weird things. It's not used for indexing really. It's used for other things, but it also depends on the context, I believe, where this formula is. And I'm not sure what it's doing right here. So let's do to do investigate proper syntax here. Because if this is used as a calculation table thing, then they have this specific weird syntax for tables where you have like 1 up, 3 left, down, start, and it will get that cell. But that's only valid in that context, I would believe. Like calculation tables context. But we'll just hope for the best here. We'll call it bracket expression. Square bracket expression. Square bracket square bracket expression. Oh, that's less than or equal to. That's another operator. Less than or equal to. Greater than or equal to. Differs from. Less than. Greater than. Oh, equals is also a thing. Dot? Where do we use dot? It says no match for dot, but is dot the only thing here? I want to see the whole thing it's trying to parse. Also, we're not really throwing a good error there. Throw. Throw? We're not throwing anything. Is that in token? Oh, that's... Yeah, that's probably in the tokenizer. In that other project. Throw. Yeah, new error. Okay, now we at least get some backtracking. Inspect this and we get the rules, but we don't get the current text we're working on. But this advanced tokenizer is used by the parser. Yeah, it uses tokenizer.feed. Switch to... So we could do this.tokenizer.state dot parser equals this. That should probably help. That's nice. Now we can also see what's on the stack. So we have like 2L plus 27 in a bracket expression, I would suppose. Oh yeah, it's no, it's bracket 2L plus 27.5. So that's like a decimal number, but 27 is smashed by identifier. So we need to have floating point support that goes before the identifier. So let's shoot ourselves in the foot using AI. Please generate regular expression suitable to capture floating point expressions. So like, why isn't it capturing plus? Oh, it has non-capturing groups in here. Floating point. Note. This has to go before identifier since 1, 2, 3 would match identifier. AST dot number, and we'll grab that, call it number. Number that extends literal. Oh way. Did we parse it all? Did we create an AST? Is there an error further down? Ah! Come on, how much can it be? Ah, this is crazy. Oh wow, so much. But it seems we got it all. Though I am suspicious about the bracket expressions. They just contain a number, but then it contains R. Oh yeah, because they will break down as a number followed by an identifier without a space in between, which it will think is fine. But yeah, the bracket expression need to have separate handling for sure. Tokenizer.bracket expression. Bracket expression. Which is now empty, so it should fail. Why didn't it fail? Oh, leave sub token as it's in enter, of course. Now we're failing. So here the bracket expression should be like an integer number, which is d. So let's do bracket expression. Oh my god. And we'll push something simple. So the expression would be like, I guess you could do like 4L3U, or so it has like several cardinal things. So it should be like decimal followed by U or up or down, which would be AST dot relative cell. Okay, let's do it. Let's make it into distinct ones here. D plus will only capture the D. D plus U relative cell. So that's context and distance. And because it's up, we'll have negative distance there. We'll create the relative cell. Relative cell. And then we'll have horizontal and vertical. And then we do this for all the cardinal directions. Down is positive distance. Left is negative distance. And right is positive distance. Maybe it will work. Oh, it says string here. That won't do. Bracket expression. Oh no. What? Oh, you want more parentheses? So finicky. Okay, we have a problem. Parsing failed. No match for... oh yeah, we need to end. Of course, we need to have the end of it in here. Because with the parentheses, we are in the same expression, but here we're pushing a sub-expression, so the return has to be in there. Bracket expression rules push end of bracket like that. Dot. Okay, what's it is it trying to? Oh, is it comma separated? But does it have to be a comma, or could you do like, I don't know if it's optional or not. Let's consider it optional and just add it as operator. We can just steal the operator thing. But here it will only have comma. Comma only. Oh yeah, bracket expression of course. Bracket expression. That worked. We have parsed it. Well, sort of. This is like the first step of parsing it. I'm turning it into... I mean, it looks like an AST, but it's sort of a middle ground between an AST and just a token stream. Maybe we could call it a structured token stream. Because it doesn't actually link that, so this if followed by a sub-expression, that is actually a function called if. But then there is if without a function, I think. I think there are ternary expressions. How does a basic... What does a Visual Basic ternary expression look like? It's probably this function here. Let's throw it. But let's clean it. From my tokenizer, which is sort of a structured tokenizer, but not a full parser because we have not resolved this expression into a function call. So what does our tokenizer say? It has the identifier there, then it has under equals 1, comma 0, comma active value 12, comma plus const value 12. What? Active value 12? Const value 12? I don't want to know. When resolving sub-expression from identifier named if. So, do you think I should use some sort of from the left expression parser that could, for instance, recognize identifier instance followed by sub expression instance as a function call? Recursive descent parser with left to right recognition. What's if I recognize two things I want to pop? How do I do this in Node? But do I want to insert a new one? I think we can assume y is 0 since we are consuming the array. It looks like Splice is putting new crap into our working list, working array. Oh, it uses shift? But I want to shift 2. I asked for popping 2 tokens of an array. So far you have not shown. Yeah. So there is no tokens.shift 2. One item, okay, that's good to know. Splice works too. Okay, I guess Splice was what I was asking for. I guess it would be nice to like, where does this even start? Here we have a bunch of lists that doesn't really specify what they come from, and I think that's probably from the handler here, where we need to also have something. So here, for instance, parse formula, we should put that. I mean, what do we get back from there? We get an expression, but it's not put inside of anything. I guess we haven't fully parsed it though, we've just tokenized it so far, so it's a bit unfair to say that it should be like that. But we have all the other wrappers around it. So we have rule, for instance. So then it should be new AST.rule. And we need the AST in here. Handlers, it's in DW expect. Oh yeah, we need to be in DriveWorks. DriveWorks. We don't have that. Rule expression. No rule here though. But then we have the common rule, which also use rule handler. New AST dot common rule. I don't know what the difference is, but let's make sure we respect it. Common rule extend this rule. Okay, so those are common rule, and they exist inside of a rule collection. Rule collection. Collection extends array for now, maybe? Yeah, maybe. In that case, we need to put a star there. No, dot 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 there. Dot dot dot. Oh, why do I have that? Like that, right? Processor is not iterable. What did it return then? Oh, it's undefined. I guess we need to have a proper expression here then, so that if I have the process tree or empty list. It's not pretty, but it works. Rule collection. Oh yeah, so it's a common rule. Then there is a rule collection for like the specific rules that comes under it. But where is common rule? That's a calculation table, so we need a calculation table here. And that's a column, but we do have a name and stuff for the calculation table, which we should include somewhere. I wonder what other stuff we are not taking care of. We should inspect like the attributes of nodes here and make sure to do. Make sure to inspect attributes of nodes to make sure we have not missed anything. We should probably have some sort of simple schema in place. So these come from column, new AST.column, and that comes from columns collection. Well, I guess that comes from columns collection. New AST.column collection. Dot 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 process tree or empty array. Then we have calculation table. New AST.calculation table, and we should probably have a name here, which probably is node. Then we have the utility for that, utils. Object from attributes. Object from attributes node dot name, and then the content. And then we have the calculation table collection. New AST.calculation table collection. Dot dot dot. That thingamajig. Double question mark. Empty array. Yeah, something like that. Export class extends array export class calculation table, which is name expression. That's a weird name, or variable. Name table, or like contents. Contents. Yeah, let's call it contents for now. Expression. Column. Contents, I guess. I don't know. I guess a column probably have a name. We should look into that. Object from attributes not defined. Object from attributes. Alright, we have stuff. Calculation table is undefined. So let's return that thing in there so that we can inspect it. It does have a name. Oh yeah, it's node.attributes. Ah, that worked. Is that a thing in more cases? So we do have like the columns. I guess it is better with a multi-line expression like this because we can check things. Like we can print out that thing. And then we have like row count as a property. So it should be name. So this should be attr const attr equals that attr.name attr.row count. Then we need to also update calculation table to reflect this. Name row count contents, row count contents. Alright. And this console.log could be attr if needed. But if we don't actually print out the result of all this, wherever we're doing that, now we could see if there are other things. So for instance, I'm suspicious of column, and also I wonder what about columns. So let's check. Okay, there is nothing about columns. We should probably have a function to check that. We could do something like if node.attributes.length throw a new exception error unexpected attributes node.attributes. I don't think it will actually print anything there but we can fix it later. Proper format. We kind of want to reuse that part there. I was thinking that maybe in column it would be used. We have name and we have type. I wonder what type is. If type is not 0, unexpected column type attr.type. Right. Was there also name? There is also name. So we should have column that has a name. We need to update here. Column has a name. Yeah, we're probably missing a lot of stuff, but it's a start, I think. We can always go back and work more on these things. So let's print out the result for now. It's a big result. Very big. Calculation table master assembly. It has 10 rows. It has a column collection of 7 columns, and then the first one is ID, then you have width and height and path. And path is like this path, then concatenated with text. Identity text. Where does text come from? This I want to see. Drive works first project. Text. Okay, so text here is actually a function. But it's weird because we have the identify text and we have a sub-expression, but this sub-expression isn't, like, it's not saying that it's anything specific. It should say that this is a sub-expression. But here we have the sub-expressions. So I wonder if it's popping it wrong. Because this sub-expression contains the SLD as some... Let's have it print out each formula. Let's not print out the entire thing, and we'll print out formula by formula instead. That would be in handlers. Parse formula. That would be in parser. No. Here it would be. So const result equals parser.parse console.log formula, and let's put it in a JSON.string, or maybe not. Let's put it inside of something. And then put an empty line there, return the result, because we're nice like that. What? Oh. Inspect. Right. Maybe it's better if we just do like that, because then it will color it properly, and we can have this as two separate things. It doesn't color it. If we print the formula first, then that, then a space. That's pretty good, I guess. Where do we put it inside of a formula? We don't. Oh yeah, because we haven't really finished this up yet. So yeah, this was the one we were curious about. So yeah, the .sldasm does not fall inside a sub-expression, it's a string. But here we have a string that has a sub-expression that in turn has a string, that in turn has a string, that in turn has a string. So this is a problem. Is that a proper JS string? Because if that's the case, we could do parser, DriveWorks parser, import parse formula from DriveWorks parser.js const formula. That looks the same, doesn't it? Yep. So the problem is probably when we are doing recursion, we'll pop the thing after we're done, but that probably gives us the wrong thing. Isn't it in here we pop it? It must be when we do leave. Let's see. It must be in a generic parser. And we have leave sub tokenizer. Oh yeah, it must be in tokenizers here. Here we have a pop thing. For instance, what? Parentheses? That's string. So when we enter the string, and we'll pop from what are we popping from here? Oh yeah, so we'll call the parser for the sub expression, then we'll pop that. But that thing could have been multiple things, I guess. So maybe we should try to have a simple case here to experiment. So what if we have just hello? Then we get a string, that's right. But what if we have hello and world? Now we get in trouble because now it pops the wrong thing there. So I think that when we do the leave sub tokenizer, that's really when we need to do something. And that's in string. Enter sub tokenizer. I wonder if we can have, because what I wanted to do later was to defer parsing, so we could add a thing that we'll use to defer to it. So let's see what enter sub tokenizer. That's in parser. Tokenizer and then handler, which could be nothing. But if handler, then this dot pending handlers, or like sub tokenizer handlers dot push handler. Then when we leave, here we just return frame. We push the pending value here, but that's probably not what we're going to do. So if this dot sub tokenizer handlers, I guess we need to define that. Handlers with an S. So if there are sub tokenizer handlers, then this dot push token sub token handler sub tokenizer. Const handler equals this sub tokenizer handler dot pop push token handler frame dot pending value. I guess we could have a context with that call as well. Else we just push it on there like that. Context value New AC string value. Will that be good enough? I guess we can do it like that. That just might work. Hello and world. Nice. Now we just need to do that in all the cases where we don't do that. So that's in all the cases we have a pop. So the better thing here would be to sort of mimic this. So we have enter sub tokenizer. Now it's the same tokenizer, so we just do undefined because it's the same one. But here it's sub expression pop sub tokenizer bracket expression square bracket pop. No more pop. We are all popped out. So let's try the harder one. Okay, so let's see. String, that stuff, that's correct up to there. Then we have an operator at, then we have identifier text with the sub expression that contains an identifier, specification ID, and a string, that's correct. And then we get to another ampersand followed by backslash followed by an ampersand followed by order number ampersand a string ampersand get table value with a sub-expression of DW lookup sections comma my number with an empty sub-expression plus 1. It oh yeah, I guess this RN belongs to the that will count as white space, I guess. So that works. I wonder, like, I think you can use dot, but I'm not sure you can actually make use of it. But I think that a dot, like something dot something else, is a valid thing in this language. But yeah, I mean, it would complain if it encountered one, so I guess that's fine. So now it's printing out all the formula. Nice, relative cell, so it's like 1L, 1U, so it's horizontal, -1. Wait, 1... Yeah, horizontal. Vertical, yeah, that's correct. Any other fun things? Oh, a bunch of nested if conditions, that does work. If, sub-expression, identify my number. Okay, let's be lazy. Lazy and dangerous. Let's use the foot gun machine. Does this look correct? Accurate and faithful. Oh yeah, capital true. That's a special token, but we count it as an identifier. I guess that's fine. so much. Oh, I'm running on fumes. I might have to get some food and do something else for a bit. But it was fun, it was productive, I got a bunch of stuff done, my parser works much better now. I can actually use it for real-time things. The next step, of course, for the parser is to turn the structured tokens into an actual AST, which means I should probably rethink what I'm calling an AST, because I have like the AST here where I have some things that are more like structured tokens in AST. Discuss with ChatGPT the difference of, let's make this into a to-do, of structured tokens and AST, and reflect that in this excuse me, this project. We should get status, get add do we dare to do and -a. We don't want test folder there. Git add a. Oh, I did that thing that I didn't want. Git rm cached. Git. The following file have stage content different from both the file and the head. I don't know why that's a thing. Git status. So we have the Sublime project and workspace, that's fine. We have the ASD parser tokenizer, stack channel, handler processing. Look good. Basic structured tokenization for all formulae works. I don't have any upstream to push it to, so no push for you. But yeah, as I was saying, thanks for watching.